yours and see how I'm looking. You got to turn me just a little bit more.
Turn.
It's on a lot.
Yeah, there we go. And maybe, Mike, you want to do a little closer? Okay. Did we? Okay. Is everybody able to see me? Let me know. Make a comment. Hello? Hello? You can now add up to 3 guests to your broadcast. You on my page?
Mm-hmm.
You see me?
Now I'm gonna show you what you're gonna do.
You turn it away from me. Yeah, there I'm right there. You keep turning it against it. It's got to go this way.
I'm looking from here.
Okay, so how come it looks like that from here and then it looks like I'm off over here?
No,
I see what you're saying.
I'm totally off. You keep going that way. It's this way.
It's this way. I guess. Yeah.
All right.
No, you gotta turn him back over there. Yeah, gotcha. There you go.
Why am I doing that and I'm not moving?
Nah, because this is late.
Oh, okay. It's late.
It's late.
Late and tired.
Late and tired.
Okay, so now what I'm trying to... Okay, Landon is watching. Landon, you can see me good?
There you go.
We had technical difficulties. And I just want to wait a few minutes, share the video, share the live. You know, let me get some people on here. I apologize for being late. But, you know, as far as time-wise, but we already know how the balls are, so I'm only going with the flow, okay? You got the balls, okay, Shine is here, my Emperor, Alfonso White. Hey, you guys, how you doing? Share the live. Let's get some people here so that they can catch it all. And I don't have to repeat stuff, which I'm not, you know. So, but it is my... you know, I have to apologize for being delayed due to technical difficulties. Landon, you sharing the live? Okay. Sean, Landon's giving you a shout out. Craig McDonald, how you doing? How's North Carolina? I'm glad to see you there. Happy holidays to you. All right. There's a message, bring them on camera. Do I have to do that, or you know, their ability? There go my son Kai. What's up, Kai? Kai's Kai, and that's why. How you feeling, Kai? I love you. Rogers, not sincere. Oh my goodness, sincere. You have no idea. For the past 2 days, I've been looking at you. You really look good. I mean, I'm just so proud of your body. You know, I don't know how you get your waist that small. Me and you got to talk. You know, I got that one picture of you and I in cover on, you know, my dresser. And I get to look at you every day. But as time goes on, you just get better and better. So sincere, shout out to you. I love you. And keep representing, you know, your body. You just do it for me. And, you know, I'm not a phony. I have to tell it like it is. You are very, very good at what you do. What's up, Diamond Aviance? I'm seeing some of the messages. I'm a little distant from the messages, and, you know, I'm trying to do this right. Y'all share this live so that people can come on, because I know some people were waiting for me. What's up, Jay Green? You know, I was thinking about you. I got a shout out for you, too. I appreciate you. You just don't know. Sometimes you have admirers, you know, that will never let you know how they feel about you. But I have to say that when I watch your videos, I am forever loving them. You really, really bring home the old school. You remind me of Kevin Omni 15 years ago. Okay? Willie Bird, what's up? What's going on? You know, I'll talk to you in a little bit. I'm just waiting for a few people to come on before I start because, you know, you start and then you have to keep repeating yourself, and I don't feel like doing that. I want to talk about what my objective is today. My objective is to inspire the kids in the ballroom of today. My objective is what, you know, my technical directors, you know, you got the love, Jay. You definitely got it, babe. And seriously, you know, I'm glad that you and I are on a level of understanding. And congratulations on your icon status, okay? And remember one thing, anything I say is not shade. People will say Kevin is shady. Kevin is not shady. It's just you move my thing off of here. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm back. My technical director, Sean, you know, the one that does the memes, is trying to be funny right now. But we going to let him live. That's the emperor. But I love him. That's my baby, my heart, and my soul. Let me get back to where I'm saying. Please share the video, share the live, so that I don't have to go through repeating stuff. I just want to make sure everybody comes in and I get enough people so that I can start talking and saying what I need to say. I'm going to start off, and hopefully this is for the new kids. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. I love you guys. The video looks better now. Thank you, Kai. I'm glad that you said that. Yeah, Alfonso, it's not shady. It's being real. You know, I've had to tell people so many times that when I speak and I say certain things, it's not about what they consider shade, I consider educating. I started out in this ballroom so many years ago, and all I've ever done was fight for this community. There's going to be some people that's not going to like what I have to say, and I'm going to blame it on you, Jay Green, because you brought back some of the old Kevin Omni. But how I want to deliver my presentation is to educate. So please remember, I want to educate you. Sometimes in the ballroom community, it's been so disenfranchised, it's extremely difficult to educate. I grew up always wanting to learn. School was my thing. I used to go to school. I used to play school with my sister. I used to play school with my nephews, educating them. Whatever I learned in school, I in turn taught them. It's all about passing the torch. And basically, that's one of my objections, passing the torch in ballroom. But I have to be specific on what I mean. Passing the torch is giving you guys inspiration to go further, to open your eyes, to ask questions, to do your research. What's up, Gunner? I got a shout out for you too, baby. Yes, I certainly do. I admire you, and I want to tell you that. I admire you. And I'll explain why when I do my shout outs. I'm just trying to give some people enough time to come on and, you know, let me wave at people, to come on and so I don't have to continue repeating myself. Okay, we're going to start off with, how you doing, Marcus Thomas? We're going to start off with, welcome to the edition of I'm Kevin Omni with you, and I'm Kevin Omni without you. That means a lot. I want to say that me being 63 years old, I thank Jehovah, Allah, Yahweh, Jesus. I thank my mother for having me. I am going to be 64 on my next birthday. And I'm just going to sit here for a minute and let y'all get into it. Just in case you can't see me. 63. Some people in the ballroom have said to me, oh, you're old, you're senile. But the real deal is they don't even know if they're going to make it to 63. I've lost over 600 friends to AIDS who are dead and gone. Ballroom, club world. There's one thing a lot of the new school kids don't know about me. One thing they don't know is I'm an icon in the New York City club nightlife. I have also promoted parties in Washington, D.C., as well as Los Angeles, California. I have been and done more than most people will ever imagine in this lifetime. Did I plan it? No. But I want to talk about me for the new kids. All the new kids that's out there, please pay attention to what I'm saying, because I want to inspire you to do the best you can. That's all I want to do. That's my objective. Hey, Brandon Simmons, I want you to understand something. I want to introduce myself to you. Now, I should be able to just do it from my heart, but I wrote it down because that's who I am. I'm a person who has always been detailed orientated. When I came into the ball community as Kevin Omni, I've been Kevin Omni for 43 years. Happy anniversary next month, January 21st. The House of Omni will be 43 years old. We started January 21st, 1979. It's okay if you take some notes, because all the jewels that I'm going to lay down will be worth taking the notes and educating yourself. Now, it's not all about anything other than love here. There's going to be a little what you consider shade, but again, I say shade is education. Okay? My name is Kevin Omni Burrus. I was born October 8th, 1958. My ballroom resume. Please understand this, because the new kids, they don't know me. And I don't know them. I know a lot of them, but I don't know them all. I don't know most of the new kids. And it's not my fault. Hey, Deron Parker, I got a shout out for you, so get ready, because you're going to like what I'm going to say. First of all, let me put on my glasses so I can see. You know, I got lovely eyes. No, they're not contacts. I'm blessed to have hazel green eyes from childbirth, being born from my mother. All right. My resume. My resume in when I came into the ballroom, I came in with a high school diploma and college educated 2 years, liberal arts and science. I was always in honors English, special progress, and intellectually gifted children, because my reading score was always 3 and 4 grades higher than the grade that I was in. Actually, my biggest compliment to that, I went back to school 35 years later. 35 years later, I attended Bloomfield College in New Jersey. And I went in 2011 to 2014. I did 3 years in forensic medicine. I'm a science major. When I was in high school, I graduated Clara Barton High School for Health Professions. However, because my mom's needed help financially, I went to work. And instead of pursuing my career in the medical field, I worked in Wall Street. I worked in Wall Street and brokered security firms and banks as a data communications technician for the IBM network of DLJ London, EF Hutton, Prudential Bache, Pershing, and Goldman Sachs. I'm very proud. I was what they called the token black. Everybody else in my office was Caucasian. I was the only black. And that didn't make it anything more than me being proud of who I and I had to be up under a stressful situation working with the stock exchange and what have you to do a good job, because I could have been fired if I would have made a mistake. They would have fired me in an instant. So I worked in Wall Street for 20 years under stressful situations. While I was working in Wall Street, I was losing my friends left and right. They were dying left and right. It didn't come with an instruction book. It didn't tell me how to respond, how to deal with the pain of losing people. I just really have been through a lot. And at 63 years old, I know I still can walk face. I still got my hair. I heard about a post that was written about people losing their hair. So I want to say thank you, Jehovah, Jesus, and Yahweh, and Allah, that I have my hair and my teeth. And I'm thankful to be here. Okay, so let's move on. Let me introduce my rest of my resume. I gave you my college and high school and all that. I came into the ball community. I had that already. There was a lot of friction because a lot of kids, I don't want to put them down, so I don't want to talk about them. Because if I talk about them, that means I'm being offensive and insulting. I personally like education. Others didn't. Okay? That's the best way I could put it. Now, my resume for Ballroom. My title is very long. So if you'd like to write it down, feel free to do so. Because it tells my history, too. My title is Pioneer Diamond Icon. I received that status at the Pioneer Ball in New Jersey in 2019. Lifetime Achiever, Ballroom Historian, Ballroom Gatekeeper, Assistant Director / Producer of How Do I Look, the film documentary, New York City Club Promoter, Host, New York City Legacy Award given to me at the Brooklyn Museum in 2017. I was in the Hall of Fame in 1984 by Richard Ebony, and I'll never ever forget my friend Richard. 1995, I was in the Hall of Fame by Andre Mizrahi and Jack Mizrahi. I was also the first person from the East Coast, and the only person that I know of, that was inducted into the Hall of Fame on the West Coast, along with J.J. Rodeo. It was just he and I in 2001 that received the Hall of Fame for the West Coast. I'm also my house, the Ballroom House Hall of Fame, New York City, and Philadelphia. That's my ballroom resume. What makes me a pioneer? Well, I started the mini balls in 1982 in Brooklyn. I did the time change. The balls used to start at 5 a.m. in the morning. I was the first one to start doing balls at 10 p.m. And that was in New York City, okay, in Midtown. I'm the first one to give the house-structured balls in Midtown Manhattan. East 86th Street, 225 was the address between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. I'm proud of that because I worked for a living and I was able to afford us having a better venue and coming from Harlem. Now, I'm not putting Harlem down because I'll tell you, Harlem is my world. Harlem is my life. Harlem Renaissance is my dream. I have so much history with the things that went on in history. And I've lived history. So I'm not going to tell you too much about myself, but I'm going to run something by you since I'm doing I started the Legend Statements and Stars Part 1, 1989. It was a series of balls. Like Paris did Paris is Burning. Pepper and Dorian did Harlem Fantasy. I, Kevin Omni, started Legend Statements and Stars 1989 all the way to 2000 Part 10. Then I did Lifetime Achievers, Icons, Legends, Statements, and Stars Status Ball, 2003, New York City, to 2005, New York City, with the only ball that Willie Ninja ever gave. He gave it with me. I feel honored, very honored. And I'm going to talk about Willie in a little bit, a lot more, because there's a lot of people the ball children don't know. First of all, I'm giving you my resume. It's not just about balls. It's about working, and it's about education, high school, college, and then years later going back to college. Okay. Some people ask me, well, Kevin, since you went back to school, what happened? Unfortunately, I don't share my personal business with everybody, but I'm going to tell you. This is my first time releasing it on video. I had a heart attack, a massive one, in 2014. My lifestyle had to change. It went from everything from my food to the way I breathe to the way I walk. But don't get it twisted, because I can still cartwheel. And I thank Jehovah and Jesus and Yahweh and Allah that I could still cartwheel at 63. Okay? Now, getting back to, I also was the first presenter of the Pioneer Ball, along with a few others. And I also celebrated my 40th Omni anniversary in Amsterdam, Europe. It was really beautiful. The chapters of Italy, Russia, Germany, which is Wolfgang Bush, talking about him in a few, because you know what? When you got friends in your life and they really mean something to you, you tell them you love them. You tell them why you can. Now that I've given you some of my resume, one other part that's more important is that I've been a community activist for many years. Everybody that knows me knows that I have always fought for this ballroom community. Sometimes it's not a good position to be in, but it's okay, because you know something? I'm proud of what I've done. I'm proud of not sitting back and letting everybody else do it. I'm doing it. I'm somebody that has always got off my behind as a pioneer, and I have stood behind my words and my actions. Now, I want to talk about, while I'm at it, since I said pioneers, I want to thank John Moschino for this year finally doing a live. I heard about it. I didn't get a chance to see the full live, but I'm very happy that he did a live. I'm very happy that, Larry Prelo Ebony did a live. And I'm very happy about that, because most of the pioneers, they don't do anything. They sit around and they don't do anything. I don't want to say they don't care. I just feel like that's not what they want to do. So unfortunately, I can't be mad at them, and I can't sit there and say anything negative about them. I am who I am. They are who they are. But I've never been one to just sit idly by and not open my mouth. When I see something wrong, or I feel like there's something that's not right, I speak about it. It has nothing to do with shade. It has nothing to do with reading. It has to do with educating. Okay. So I don't want to be all over the place, because my son Kai told me, sometime, Kev, you get another thought, then you're somewhere else, whatever. But that's basically it. And I want to just stop with the Pioneer title by saying one thing. The Pioneer title, overall Ballroom Pioneer, is a thank you. It's a thank you to people from the white era that created the balls, went through the sacrifices, and did what we had to do. Now, let me just do this, because this is a problem in ballroom. This is just one problem with many. Every time I turn around, somebody is going, the Pioneer. This is the Pioneer. If you you are not an overall ballroom pioneer if you came to the balls after 1984. It's no shade. I love Alvernian. I love Andre Mizrahi. But I've watched lives where people like Kevin Jay-Z has said, the pioneer Andre. Okay, I'm not going to deliver or present myself in the wrong way. Or Al Vernon has placed up on his flyers, the pioneer. If it weren't for you guys, and this is no shade, Andre, and this is no shade, Alvernian. If you weren't making everybody in the world an icon, then you wouldn't have to be trying to escape that status. That's a status. The people like Avis and Dorian and all of them that died, they're pioneers. Overall ballroom pioneers. And then you keep forgetting that Kevin Omni's still alive. I'm not going to name any more pioneers because I'm the only one that's always on the battlefield fighting. I'll say thank you, John, and thank you, Larry. You know, I see Andre is listening. Shout out to Andre Mizrahi. He knows I love him. You know what I'm saying? And I support him. Matter of fact, I gave Andre not his icon status, his legendary status, along with Marcel Christian. And we're going to get into that a little later. Because what I'm trying to do to the new school children, as I introduced you to my resume, my ballroom resume, sometimes, you know, I always say, don't talk about it, be about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a walk down memory lane. I'm Kevin Omni. I gave you my resume. Now I'm going to need some help from my technical advisors. You know, my son Sean, the legendary one that does the memes, okay, which I appreciate. Are you going to, is there, oh yeah, come on. All right. So this was Sean's idea. No, you can see it. You don't have to switch it. All you got to do is just turn it. These are just, can we come a little closer? These are just a few. Oh, there's one right here too I was sitting on. Bloomfield College. So it's not just balls. There's just a few. This is what the pioneer Kevin Omni, who he is. Let's start off with 1984. Thank you, Saul Pendavis. Richard Ebony. Thank you, Richard Ebony. Proclamation from the House of Ebony, Atlanta and New York. Thank you, Joseph Ebony. My status at the Pioneer Ball in 2019, Diamond Icon. Okay? Let's start with the first Black Pride Award, the first Black Pride New York City Ball I gave, 1999. Here's Europe for my 40th anniversary, 2019. Then we have the Lifetime Achiever Award. Then we have the Certificate of Recognition, the Pioneering Icon Kevin Omni from the Midwest Creation of History. Then we have the Greatest Ball on Earth, my doctorate, degree in human letters, from Terrence Louverture. We have the Presented Kevin Omni Award with the Omni logo on the top. We have my 15 years of legendary status. The first House of Mugler Ball. In the back, we have the Appreciation Award from Michael Princess, may he rest in peace, and Preston Princess, who just passed away 3-4 weeks ago. Then we have the Clubhouse Award. We got the Icon of the Year Award. We have the second Mugler Award. This is the West Coast Award. Sorry, Hall of Fame. Clubhouse. This whole live is about the Truth Award. Because y'all getting ready to get some truth. So don't start to get... Yeah, Terrence, your award is here, baby. I make sure it stays... Well, Sean polished it. Okay? Because, you know, we had to make it look appropriate. I have the, from Dre Ebony, How Could We Ever Forget You? This is from the Globe in New Jersey. This is my, this is my award for face. at Terrence's Ball in 2008. Yeah, it was the grand prize category and I won. Very happy. I have like all these awards here, and this award was given to me by Lee Soldier in 2015. I gave him hell in 2014. He wanted to give me an award, but he put my name on the flyer with two others people. I don't want to be negative, but you can't give me an award when it's somebody that I'm going against. My activism. So I told him what to do with that award, and I'll leave that alone. Because Lee is not a bad person. He just needs to be educated. All right. Back there I have the New York City Legacy Award from the Brooklyn Museum. Sean is telling me to pick everything up, so when they all start falling down, he's going to clean up. This is my New York City Legacy Ball Award for having a New York City legacy. I don't have in my possession my Historian Award or what have you. This is the 25th House of Ebony Anniversary Award. And I have to say that ball was very special. Shout out to Dre. Dre asked me to write the history of the House of Ebony for their 25th anniversary, and I did so because I was there. Okay? Remember that phrase, I was there. Very important. I was there. Okay. Now I got another Mugler Award back here. You know, it's kind of funny. I gave Andre Mizrahi a few awards. Oh, I forgot the GMHC awards over here. Isn't that something? I like this one the best. The John Harrington Humanitarian Award. Let me put my glasses on because I got to read this to you guys. It says, an individual who has displayed tireless activism, advocacy, and commitment to the health and empowerment of the ballroom community. This award is presented to Kevin Ocha Omni. Your work has opened the eyes of many that were blind and the hearts of others that did not care. And this was the House of Latex 2004. And when they gave me the award, I said, thank you. But that doesn't mean I'm going to shut up. My argument with the House of Latex and GMHC was because you spend $50,000. Please pay attention, you young kids, because these are the mistakes that keep going over and over again. It goes over your head and you sit there like brain dead and don't understand what's going on. All right? You spend $50,000 on a latex ball, but back then kids needed GED, programs. They needed job training programs. They needed to have housing vouchers to get off of sleeping on the pier in New York City. My fight with the GMHC has been just that. That's what it was all about. Then, mind you, I fought the GMHC for 10 years along with Wolfgang Omni Bush. We protest, we held signs and everything. Went to a meeting with the GMHC. So I said to them, oh, your recent balls, you're charging people and you're serving alcohol. Pay attention to what I'm saying. They told me, well, we have to charge alcohol, to make up differences and money. I said, oh, you're an AIDS organization, so you want people to get drunk and have unprotected sex. I got it. Okay? Needless to say, after all that protesting, Marjorie Hill, who was making $250,000 a year, and the next one, Judy Weinberg, who was Jewish, picture that. She's in the AIDS organization and she's Jewish. All right, I got it. Manny Ortez, who was the entertainment director, all of them resigned because of the pressure. It was a tireless fight. And still, they turn around and they want to spend $50,000 on a ball when kids in the ballroom could benefit by having that money. All right. Please pay attention because they snowed everybody from all those years. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. Okay. So they gave me an award, and that was like, here, Kevin, you do a good, tireless job. Blah, blah. Yeah, like, pat me on the head, throw me some crumbs, and I'll shut up. It's the same thing 10 years later. Lee Soldier wanted to give me an award at the Heritage Ball. And I told him what to do with that award, and I'm not going to be descriptive because then y'all will think I'm throwing shade. And I don't want to throw shade. I want to educate. I told him no, I wouldn't take the award because he had me on the award at the same time as the House, the GMHC, and another person that I don't want to go to battle with because I'm not here for that. What I'm here for is standing up for the right thing. So I didn't accept the award. Now let me get fab. I have won many awards, many trophies, as you could see. Okay? I pulled them out the box because they stay in the box. I have to say that I also refuse awards. There's been a few people that wanted to give me awards, and I told them what to do with those awards because you know what? Just because you put my name on a flyer, just because you... Happy holidays, Curtis Bryant. Hey, Rochelle Fleming, it's not over. Rochelle Fleming's on the line. Let me just get away from my feelings towards the GMHC right now because that's taking me somewhere. I'm an activist. I've always been an activist. I'm a pioneer that puts in the work. I don't just walk around and say, oh, call me up. So it's an insult when people call themselves a pioneer or some of the MCs and the commentators call someone a pioneer. Please, you know what? One of the mistakes we keep doing, the commentators are going in the right direction. They keep the ball flowing with the chants. But they need to have a history test before they're giving a microphone. They need to know, like the days when Jack grabbed the microphone, Mizrahi, and Selvin, they were educated. They understood the story and passed the torch. But these commentators now, all they want to do is chant. I'm not saying they bad because they do a real nice job. What I'm saying is, why don't you learn your history so you don't go, oh, pioneer so-and-so and this, that. Stop making those mistakes. If you have a problem with ADD, attention deficit disorder, then what you should do is talk to somebody. Please do. I did 10 radio shows about mental illness. We need to stop making the mistakes. If you don't get your history, then you can't tell the history. I'm not saying you have to be an expert, but at least know who's a pioneer. Remember? Okay, repeat after me. Before, 1985, you're an overall ballroom pioneer. If you came out the red era, you're not. Also, you people in Europe, I love you. I'm glad you accepted copying off our ballroom. I'm glad that you're copycats. I'm glad that the ballroom went outside of New York. I saw it all. I saw when it went from New York to New Jersey, to Philly, to D.C., to the Midwest, to the West Coast, to the Southeast. But remember, you're copying off of what me and my friends who are still here, and there's very few of us. I just really realized how many of the pioneers are dead. It's very hard for me. So I still try my best to be there for people. But quite frankly, I'm exhausted. So I'm trying to give you these jewels. Remember, you are not an overall ballroom pioneer if you started going to balls after 1984. Everything after the white era is copycats. Now, let me start off with this, because you know you're going to have those children that try it. The balls were in the 16th century. You had Marie Antoinette doing the balls in Paris and King Louis. You had the Roman balls. You had the 20s and 30 balls. You had Harlem Renaissance. You had the 40s. You had the drag balls of the 60s. You had the Phil Black balls. You had all these balls. But when the house structure ball started, it started with Lottie LaBeija in 1972. Crystal used the word LaBeija when she was doing the pageant system. There was not a house of LaBeija until 1972. I just read an article just recently in Swerve telling me when certain houses started, like Erskine Christian started in 1977, but not according to Swerve. It says 1975. Am I being catty? Am I being petty? If you want to tell a story, it's fine, but at least tell the story right. So let me get back to where I need to be, okay? So y'all see my awards. Now I must lower myself because my technical director is telling me, and he dropped me. Oh, he's trying to, do the best he can. And hopefully, hey, Yolanda McGill, my baby, I love you, Yolanda. Okay, so now let me just get back to some of the more fun things, because this is a year in review. It's not just about me talking about the things that, like Kai says, I jump all over the place. But let me give some shout outs. I want to give shout outs to my cousin Michael Haynes, Ebony. Happy birthday again. Happy birthday, Michael. Happy birthday to Salahuddin Muhammad, Ultra Omni. Happy birthday next month to Kai Milan, my son. Happy birthday to Tanya Omni. Happy birthday. I'm a little twisted. It's like a little twisted. Maybe you like to straighten it up a little bit. Happy birthday upcoming to Shemaine Milan in January. I believe it's the 28th. Yes, Shemaine, I would never forget your birthday, baby. If anybody in the ballroom that I admire and respect is you. Okay. Shout out to my girlfriend, Sophia Davis from Fashion Avenue News Magazine. I want to say thank you for the interviews, part 1 and part 2. It's a beautiful thing that she reached out to me and wanted to do interviews for, we're just not making it with this. Give me that so I can hold it. Yeah, we're having technical difficulties beyond belief. But anyway, this is better because I get a close-up and y'all can catch my Cara. All right. Let me put my glasses back on so I can see. This ring light is supposed to do wonders for me. All right. Sophia Davis, thank you. Thank you for reaching out to the ball community. Thank you for wanting us to tell our story. And I want to thank Tony Over. I bet you never thought I'd probably shout you out, but he is Mr. North America, and he has done many of the pageants, so shout out to you. Ralph McDaniels, my friend, who is very funny, who created Video Music Box. Shout out to you and your success, and thank you, Nasir, not Little Nas, we're talking about the original Nas, who just created the documentary for Video Music Box. Video Music Box was before BET. So we have to pay homage because that is the original hip-hop television, and I'm so glad to be a part of knowing Ralph. We call him Uncle Ralph, and all that he does. I want to shout out to the First National Hip-Hop DJ, First National, DJ Red Alert. And he even got an award from the president. That nice. Went to the White House. So I love Red Alert. He also judged an Omni Ball. Okay. He judged my part 2 at the Red Zone in 1990. Shout out to him. Shout out to Wendy Williams. I love Wendy. Wendy, all through the 80s in New York City, gave Kevin Omni shout-outs. She was shady, too, at times. I was in my kitchen one day, sweeping the floor, and I had heard her say, shout out to Miss Kevin Omni. But anyway, I love Wendy. And I thank DJ Red Alert for giving me the honors to do promos for his show. See, there's a lot of things y'all don't know. You know, I did promos for 98.7 Kiss FM. When I'm not out helping my fellow man, I got my radios locked in on 98.7 Kiss FM with my homeboy, Cool DJ Red Alert. Yeah! You know what I'm saying? All right, shout out to DJ Cass from Hot 97. Cass, don't forget my Coquito. DJ Cass, I love you. And you know what? You have the personality that people will always want to be around you. Shout out to, let's get into some of my ballroom people that I admire. Shout out to Black Lonvin. I really admire you. Congratulations on your job. Hey Brandon. I was getting ready to come to you to do your shout out. But Black Lonvin, I love how you've been winning at these balls. You just have an aura about you that's very special. It's very positive, very uplifting. And I'm happy that things are going well for you. So you keep on doing what you're doing and know that Kevin Omni admires you. Okay? Raymond, my friend in Baltimore. You know, Raymond, I always love your inspiration, your love. Hey, Wardell, I see you up there in the corner. I got you in a few, too. Now, Big Meech Ebony. He is so funny. I love Big Meech Ebony. I mean, he is really, really funny. But I like his style. He's got his own realness, and congratulations on all your wins. And Andre Lewis, I see you, too. Andre has been walking from state to state and winning. Andre Lewis, Ebony, Father, New York. I'm very proud of you, Andre. And Andre, you know what I'm getting ready to say, right? Don't hit me. Okay? I love Andre. Stuart, Ebony, I love you. Thank you for still being in my life. Dwight, Princess, I love you. You Atlanta, all the way in Atlanta, but I love you. Brandon and Clint Jaliffy, I love you. Let me go down here. Let me move it along real fast. I got a chance to meet a lot of the kids have hit me up and made suggestions on, and asked me questions on what I think about ballroom and this, that, and other. And I try to be, positive. Jay Garcon, I'm proud of you. You're doing really well with your channel. Caesar, Ballroom Throwbacks, I'm very proud of you too, Caesar. I really am. I don't get a chance to communicate with you a lot, but I do watch you, and I'm proud of your success. Paloma Garcon, Barbara Tucker, my R&B singer who's always praying for me. Shout out to you, Barbara Tucker. I love you. Thank you. Could you continue to pray for the ballroom community? And Brandon Milan, who is my nephew. And not only that, congratulations on your working with Fendi and all the work that you do. I love you for your support. Hugs and kisses. I see my son the cover ain't no other Evangelista on here. We're going to have to do something about that name in 2022. Who else? I want to give a shout out to Tygear Morgan. Yes, Tigger, I'm giving a shout out to you. The kids will tell you. The reason why is because I've been watching you turn it for commentator versus commentator. You really have me moving. When you start commentating, I start feeling really, really good. Boy Wonder, I don't need you to tell me about Waverly. I don't need you to tell me about Waverly. I want to talk about my sons. Shout out to Kai and Cage. And I want to say shout out to my grandson Sen and my grandson Harold Balenciaga. I want to say, Harold, you've done a really good job with the House of Balenciaga. I'm really proud of you. Me and Harold fought, pulled each other's hair, and what have you. But I tell you one thing, Harold is a sweetheart. And even though he likes to debate with people, this is good because he keeps people on their toes. Getting back to you, Tigger Morgan, I want you to learn one thing. Represent the new commentators. Know your history. Know who is a pioneer. Know who is an icon so that you can pass the torch and move the kids in the right direction. Because again, these commentators across the United States, all they do is chant. But if you give them a history test, they'll all fail. And it's sad because 10 years from now, they're going to be in the same boat trying to tell people what they should have told them and open their mouth and said something when it was necessary. Like if you see somebody going, okay, for instance, pioneer so-and-so. If you're not a pioneer, just say, well, you know what? I'm happy being an icon. I'm happy being an iconic icon. But don't sit up there and let it ride over your head. And then everybody in the audience is like, okay, they call him a pioneer. If y'all know that I'm telling y'all that that's not an overall ballroom pioneer, why are you so brain dead? Why are you so brain dead? Why must somebody go A, B, C, or act like I'm in Rush Hour with Jackie Chan? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Okay. I want to give a shout out to Tyleek Nasir. Now, Tyleek, you better be on this live listening. Hey, Monet Ebony. Yeah, okay, Andre, you want to start the nonsense. Andre says, I only say this because RRD me as a icon. That's the only reason, but I do understand. Thank you, Andre, because you know something, Andre? You know I love you. You know I don't have a problem with you whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? You're my heart. I was the first one to tell you, don't let the ballroom overdo you. I always told you, Andre, take it further. And you know what? And you did. And I admire you and I applaud you. And if you need me, I'm there. But RR, okay, I'm going to leave it alone because I said I want to stay positive. All right. Okay. Hey, shout out to Waverly. Waverly, can I have my cocktail? You know, I have like two sandwiches waiting for me. Honey turkey and pastrami. No, I can't. Well, open it up or something. Did you get me some cucumber pickles?
I have a whole pickle.
Oh, a whole pickle? Ooh, look at this pickle, y'all. Oh, the juice is falling on my floor. Yeah, so I got me some. That's the pastrami?
Yeah, it's the pastrami.
Oh, man, look at this sandwich, baby. When I get off this live, I'm going to eat. Make sure you wrap it up. Okay, so let's get back. Let me give a shout out to the designers. Deron Parker, you're coming up. I'm going to do you last. Gunnar Richo Doyle. I got to tell you, baby, that I really admire your designs. I admire what you're doing. And I love you because you do it well. Hey, Graciela. Hey, Victor. The Omnis are, they're here. Back to Gunnar. Gunnar, I like your stuff. Me and you are going to talk in 2022. And if there's anything I could do to be more supportive for you, let me know. And I thank you for always keeping it real. I thank you for letting the children know what they need to know. And now I want to say thank you to Jose Manuel Disla Jr. Extravaganza, who has made many outfits for me. Jose, you do an excellent job. Our Heavenly Father has blessed you with such a skill and talent. And I love you. I love you from my heart. And say hi to mommy for me. I just want to tell everybody that, you know, I admire. Kevin Omni sits back as a pioneer because the rest of the pioneers will sit there and don't say nothing. They don't even help me fight for the cause. So I'm paying them none right now. I've been doing it and I'm going to continue doing it as long as I got the energy and strength. Again, I remind some of you, I had a massive heart attack in 2014, and I'm still trying to help the community out. I'm still taking time to explain things. Okay, so those designers, Gunnar Richo, Jose, and Marquise Forster. Marquise, you do a really good job. I like your outfits. I like your styles. I like the colors you use. I'm very proud of you. Now, I have to go to someone that I just met. His name is Deron Parker, and he lives out in California. And I just admire him. One day he just sent me a message. He wanted to talk to me, and I got on the phone with him, and I found him to be very interesting. I hope you're listening, Deron, because I saw you creating outfits. And I see, well, first of all, he has a boat. And that just, I can't wait to come to California so I can get on this boat and go skinny dipping. Okay? But Deron, I want to tell you something. You keep doing what you're doing. You keep making those outfits. You keep learning. And you keep being positive and be sure of yourself. But I got something that I want to tell you that Kevin Omni has never done before. And it's almost like a proposal. You know how somebody get on one knee and ask you to marry them? Well, my proposal to you is, you are 007, but I would be very proud if you represented the House of Ultra Omni. We've had West Coast houses, and, you know, my son Brandon Lanvin comes from Omni. I always try to tell people's history so that the kids can kind of follow the history, because a lot of stuff gets erased, and then people get confused. And say if I'm not here, what's up, Rico Milan? That's my baby. I got you down here too, Rico. Don't worry. I'm going to call you in a few minutes, but I'm going to call you now. But getting back to Deron, I extend an offer to you, to the House of Ultra Omni. And I would be proud to have you as a member. Okay? Now let me get to the houses that I admire and that really, really kind of excite me. Okay? I want to give a shout out to my son, Man. Okay? Now, just in case you don't know, his name is Man Ultra Omni Ungaro Ebony Prodigy. I'll repeat it. Man K. Emmanuel Battle Ultra Omni Ungaro Ebony Prodigy. So I will always feel that the prodigies are my grandchildren. Just like I feel Harold, I know Harold's my grandson, but the House of Balenciaga are my great-grandchildren. The House of Milan, Raja Omni Milan, and Terry Omni Milan. See, sometimes I look at the stories people write, and they'll say Raja Milan and Terry. They have history, honey. If you don't know the story, ask somebody. It's Raja Omni Milan and Terry Omni Milan. No, it's not like I want to take credit. But I remember when they came to me and said, we wanted to do this, start this house. We want to do this. And I said, okay. The same as Eric Graham's Omni Mugler. May he rest in peace. He said, I'm going to work with Riley and David and Stacy, and we're going to start the House of Mugler. That is why the Muglers are my grandchildren. The Milans are my grandchildren. And some of the people that come in to certain houses afterwards, I'm not throwing shade, but, you know, if you don't like me, why are you in a house that came from me? Go figure. Y'all figure that out, because I'm over it. The House of Lanvin. I want to tell y'all about how I feel about you guys. I'm amazed. I want to talk about the house. Okay, there was some balls this year, so let me not jump all over the place like my son Kai tells me. But the House of West, that ball you gave in North Carolina when you had that theme for school days, excellent. You did an excellent job. And when the House of Lanvin got off that bus, that parochial school bus, that yellow school bus, which some of the kids today need to ride, but not to a regular school, if you know what I mean. The House of West, you did a great job. You're one of the balls that I watched on video. And I love the House of Lamb then when they came in their little Catholic school outfits. You guys made me so proud, and I found that to be exciting. So shout out to the House of Lamb then. The House of Milan, I spend a lot of time with my grandkids. Rico, I can't call Kai. Kai to me is not a Milan, and he's not, even though he's the godfather of Omni, he's not any of that. He's my son. So you know I'm going to favor him anyway. Even though, you know, he spoils me and I spoil him. I want to say to the House of St. Laurent, Tayana, I watched you. I'm loving the House of St. Laurent. And I know that Robbie St. Laurent is proud of you guys. You have really revitalized the House of St. Laurent. You guys do an excellent job. I'm loving the House of St. Laurent. And Robbie, shout out to you. I love you, and I'm glad we're still here. I want to say the ball in North Carolina, the State of the Culture Ball. I enjoyed watching the videos from that ball. And I also enjoyed watching Marquise Carter and the Realty Part 2 ball. So shout out to you guys. And I want to say the CD70s ball. You guys missed that CD70s ball. That was the ball where all the pioneers that basically are left were at. And Kai and Alvernian brought them through. Well, brought us through. And, you know, we love you. You know what I'm saying? We want everybody to have a great ball or what have you. Now I want to say to the other houses, Revlon, my friend Donald Thomas, shout out. Brandon, again, my nephew, shout out. Arichi, the House of Arichi. I watched one category where Onyx did this taxi thing. And they said, Arichi. And he turned it. And I loved it. And I just want to give a shout out to the House of Arichi. I want to give a shout out to the House of Hervé Leger. My son Cage, your members are really, really very nice. And those grandsons of mine, I love you guys. So shout out to the House of Hervé Leger. Shout out to Jeffrey Bryant and the House of LaBeija. I love you, Jeffrey. You're a sweetheart. And I love what you're doing with LaBeija. Because I know it's what you're doing. Okay. The shout out to the House of Mizrahi. Because you know something? Andre's 30th anniversary is going to be all that. And the Omnis is coming through. And I'm coming through with my old behind. And I'm going to entertain Andre because I love Andre. And Andre is an iconic icon. And now, one more house. The House of Muglia, I already said I love you. But I got to introduce this new house. Whoa. The House of Daniel Delcourt. Okay. Yeah, see, Kevin Omni is the pioneer that stay up on things, right? So Daniel Delcourt comes from Gucci. He was a contributing designer for Gucci and now has gone and opened up his own thing, his own design. And those members that were ex-Ballmans, and the biggest thing is, y'all, if y'all don't know, it better be trending. Fred ex-Chanel is now Danielle Delcourt. Congratulations, Fred. Congratulations to Javon, Mitch Carbon, and all you guys. And I pray that the House of Danielle Delcourt will be very successful, I'm sure. And I want to say congratulations to Brian DeLoaf Ebony. I think your award was the Hall of Fame in Virginia, but you definitely deserve it. And remember one thing, Brian. You don't never need to argue because it takes two to argue. And those people that can't take you will never take you. And whatever your personal situation is, you live your life and you live, your truth. And you just be who you are. Because I'll tell you one thing, I love you. I love myself some Brian DeLoaf Ebony. And I want to go to Mitch Carbon. Congratulations on your being legendary. I watched you with your executive. I admire you. One day we're going to talk because I would love to talk to you. And then I want to say congratulations to Larry Prelo on his Truth Award. And I want to say, Charmaine, I sent you a message and you didn't respond. So, I'm just going to do it right here so you can be a little embarrassed. Evelyn Champagne King. Picture it. And what you do to me is Charmaine. Okay? You got it. But congratulations on your icon status. You have walked and served. And I'm really proud of you. I'm very proud of you. And then now to Jay Green. Jay, really from my heart, congratulations on your status. And remember, keep letting the kids know what time it is. Because I love watching your lives. I really do. And I find them to be entertaining. And I love the way you tell the truth. I guess you will definitely be one to get a Truth Award in the future. But congratulations on your icon status. Now we want to talk about upcoming balls again. Dish 2022. You got the coldest winter, February 19th in New York City and Queens. Shout out to the icon Sanaya. I believe the house is called Alea, or that's just her name. Sanaya Alea, that's my baby. When I think about her, I think about Ashley, and I think about Letitia. Shout out to you, Letitia. Still got them big boobies, right? And Ashley, you love horn blowing, honey. That was legendary at Miss Kelly's ball. Oh, shout out to Miss Kelly. I miss you, Miss Kelly. And I'm going to have to bump into you sooner or later so we can kiki. All right? Also, Kai Milan and Uncle Mike Ebony, May 7th, 2022. Write that down. May 7th will be held in Virginia, in Richmond. Harold Aga says more information is coming out for his ball July 16th, 2022. But we want to make sure that you are aware that the House of Mizrahi's 30th anniversary, Andre, you came a long way, baby. You deserve, as you have been going to everybody's ball and supporting everybody, and you have taken a lot of slack from people, a lot of hate from people, but you know something? Let me tell you something. We're coming through for that anniversary. We're coming through for that 30th anniversary. We will be at Andre Mizrahi's 30th anniversary. The House of Mizrahi is here to stay. And all you people out there that hate and go through all these problems, please go find somebody to talk to. It's very easy. You can go to the yellow pages and you can look things up and you can find out therapy, psychiatrists. There's a lot of people out there can help you. Okay? All right. And even Sean, my emperor, calls me the doctor of the ballroom. That's why he keep making all these memes up of me. I'm just glad he hasn't put a naked one up yet. But don't underestimate him because that might come too. Okay. So now I want to tell y'all something. Let me go to my other page. Got to make sure that I got most of. So we got the upcoming balls. I gave shout out to the houses. Demure Versailles, just in case I didn't say it, I want to make sure that y'all know. Again, shout out to Fred Chanel, Delcourt, Fred X Chanel, Daniel Delcourt. And shout out to the House of West. And who else is up here? Okay, the House of Revlon, I did say. Hervé Legier, LaBeija, Ebony, Mizrahi, Mugler, Arici, West, Milan, Saint Laurent, and Balenciaga. Okay. If you guys, I don't want to repeat stuff that I've already put out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you go to my page, you'll see I wrote a post about, I saw the Chicago Awards Ball. Not the Midwest Awards Ball, but the Chicago Awards Ball. I'm going to say this real quick. Write it down. Remember it. You know, if you need medication for your attention deficit disorder, get some. I wrote names of the people that were the trailblazers that started the Chicago ball scene. First of all, it's not my job. And it's not a job that I want. I had to deal with New York City. I had to deal with being there at the beginning to create categories and get us nice venues in Midtown, being the first, the pioneer. So why do I have to list the people that you should know? Let's start off with, shout out to Wardell Avant-Garde, who also designed many clothes for me. Okay? I love you, Wardell. Let me explain. I put up a post, and let me tell you what some of the people that I included on the post that they didn't include on the Chicago Awards Ball came on and started going south instead of saying, thank you, Kevin. I don't have to do anything for you, like you don't have to do anything for me. But that's my last time. I was the first from the East Coast to come to Chicago and break bread. I was the first one to win a trophy in Chicago from New York. I was living in New York before I moved to New Jersey. Born and raised, Bed-Stuy, do or die, me and Larry and Richard. Okay? I came over there. Oh, I love you too, Charmaine. Don't start because you know you haven't called me or nothing, but that's okay. Hey, Clark Vincent. That is a makeup artist. That is a true makeup artist. Thank you. He did my photo for Swerve magazine. Yeah, I'm going to have to get to Swerve in a minute. It's coming. But I want to talk about something before. Let's get back to one thing. Remember, follow me. Pioneers, Overall Ballroom Pioneers, is the originators before 1985. Please stop insulting the dead. Please stop insulting the living by talking about people being pioneers when they came out after that. Kevin Jay-Z Prodigy and any other MC that don't know any better, start learning your history. Know what you're talking about. Because if I'm there, I'm going to stand up and say, did I not explain to you A, B, C? If you have attention deficit disorder, talk to somebody and get some medication. Or leave the recreational drugs alone so your chemical imbalance can get back to normal. Okay? It's not our fault. Leave the drugs alone. The crystal meth, it's killing everybody. I can't even begin to tell you how many pioneers are left. There's hardly any. I'm walking around. I lived through the AIDS epidemic. I lived when AZT was killing everybody. The good cells and bad cells. All my friends died. Okay? I came out in the 70s. I came out in 1973 to my first gay establishment. 1973. Okay? I went all the way to 1985 and then started losing all my friends. Now I'm living in a pandemic. Hello? Do anybody understand what's going on? See, I can't tell you what to do. There used to be a record called I Can't Tell You Who to Sock It To. It's your thing. If you want to go out there without a vaccination, if you want to go out there without a mask, if you must do crystal meth and have sex for 4 days with 5 different people, it's okay. Go ahead. But don't expect everybody to sit here and continuously be hurt because you're living a lie and not living the truth, and you're not opening your eyes to seeing what's going on. Just like I have to tell you 1,000 times, you're not a pioneer. I'm tired of it. Okay? Now I got a suggestion for status. It was brought to my attention by 2 people of today. Why not get a new status? And I think that's a good idea. Harold, Andre, who else can I say that's Rodney, Javon, whoever else wants to be considered, Michael Haynes. Why not make a status like example Titans? You know, like the mythological gods. That would be over icon. But here's the catch. There could only be a ceremony every 7 years. And it has to be voted upon by the powers that be. And a Titan should keep up with what we used to think an icon should be. That means they do community service. That means they have a lot of trophies and they gave a few balls. Let's make it 7 balls. Let's make it, how about 70 trophies? Okay? 70. And let's do it every 7 years at one particular ball. One particular ball, and they can become a Titan. Because they can't become a pioneer. Pioneer is not a status, it's an overall title. Again, you see how many times I got to repeat this? Because soon as the live goes, so do everybody's attention. Remember, attention deficit disorder. And I did so many things on mental illness. But I'm just throwing that out there. Harold, Rodney, Alvernian, Andre, all of you guys, why not do a new status? Why not do Titans to be a top of icon? And stop making everybody an icon, because everybody's an icon now. Everybody. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with it, but now you got to find something new to do, because now the kids are not motivated. And I don't care about how they became an icon. I don't care if they slept with this one or that one. That's none of my concern. My concern is just having respect. 10 years from now, when you're older, if you make it to my age, you're going to have to go through the same thing. You're going to say, oh, I used to walk and I won. Look, I started this off with everybody seeing, and I pulled this out of boxes. This is not something that I have on my walls. All of this came out of a box, just so that I can show y'all who Kevin Omni is, and a resume. And that is none of my trophies. None of them. You want to know why? The last, I think, 25 trophies I gave away to Omni members. My mother, my family has trophies. Mommy's dead now, so I don't know where that trophy is. But anyway, and I had a girlfriend that came to my house with a U-Haul and took 50 of my trophies. Okay? It was 35 to 50, one of the two. I don't even have those dust collectors anymore. I'm a winner inside. I was a winner day one coming in the ballroom with a high school diploma and 2 years of college. And a job. And like, I give credit to the Omnis because I got members that's been here for 40 years. 40 years. Y'all don't even have friends for 40 minutes or 40 seconds. I have people in my life for 40 years. My god brother and god sister, they've been in my life for 56 years. My best friend Joseph, shout out to you, Joseph, in Alabama. He been in my life for, we're both the same age, 53 years. How many of y'all could say that? Wolfgang's been in my life. Okay, let me get back to this so I can get off this live without trying to forget anything. First of all, I want to talk about, I don't know if I should do the Swerve magazine, my opinion on it. I'm going to try to, I'm going to start with that because I'm going to have to take a sip of my cocktail for this one. Because I want to present things in the right way. And I see you laughing, Cover. Stop it. Oh, man. What is this again?
I made that for you.
Sean is doing some. Y'all better come get Sean.
It's called a liquor snack.
It's called a liquor snack. But what's the name of it?
Liquor snack.
I want to know what the bot is.
Oh, it's Jameson.
Jameson what?
Liquor snack.
You know what? They messing with me. Hey, Troy, what's going on, baby? Love you.
Is this Jameson?
Okay, so let me talk about Swerve Magazine. Now, I want to tell y'all a story, but y'all going to learn. This is very important. I have the magazine here, as you can see, right? Shout out to Jamil Fletcher, who's in charge of Swerve Magazine. Shout out to Racine Pendarvis. I love you guys. But now I have to talk about Swerve Magazine. This is a beautiful picture. Devonna, you look great. John, you look great. Marquise, Chris, okay? And I forgot, but I believe that's the Father West ambassador. I believe so. All right. So, I'm going to tell a story, and I want you to get the story right. I don't want you to think that this is me coming out of the bag or being shady, because remember, I educate. It's not about shade. I don't gain any points. No extra money goes in my bank account. So this is just coming from the heart. So I thought about how I was going to deliver this. I received a message from Lee Soldier today. And he asked me that I received my copies. Yes, I got my copies, Lee. And I want to talk about something. Me and Lee have had rocky times with each other and what have you. And Lee asked me at the Pioneer Ball in 2019. He said to me, Kevin, can I ask you something? And I said, yes. He said, why do you hate me so much? And I told him, I don't hate you. He said, yes, you do. But I'm going to tell you in front of everybody, I don't hate you. What I would like to see is you understand who I am. Okay? Now, I have to deliver this the right way because I don't want it to be tacky. I don't want it to be negative. And, it's hard. Okay, so I read the article. I went in here and I read beautiful pictures, okay? Now, mind you, I think ahead of the box. When I read you, I put you in parentheses. Y'all know that one. Okay, so let's move on. So, and I love it because it says Ballroom has something to say. There's Lee's picture. And, I didn't even see this. Michael Robeson's name is in here. Right there. Okay. Okay, so I'm no longer here. I'm no longer alive. Let's pretend. Let's do a... What do you call it? What do you call that when you pretend?
Imagination.
Well, no, we're not going to use our imagination. We're going to keep it real because this is what some of this remind me of, imagination.
Let's just say it's 2050.
No, it's going to come to me. Not a charade, but something on that level. Now, if I'm no longer here, 10 years from now, somebody picks up this magazine. They want to know, well, who are the pioneers? Well, first of all, John's name is not here. My name is not here. Chris's name is not here. I got it. Okay. So, it says pioneers on the bottom. So 10 years from now, I'm not here, and people see pioneers. Who are the pioneers in this picture?
There's a picture show.
It's just a picture. But nobody knows who the pioneers are. And why are the pioneers mixed with everybody else, if that's the case? It's not me. I read before the sentence, above the sentence, below the sentence, behind the sentence, in front of the sentence, and through the sentence. Okay? Remember, I said honors English, special progress classes, intellectually gifted children. That's just me, academia. Okay. So now let's get back to the articles. So I look in here, and I'm just going to ask Lee this question. Lee, you asked me and Brian Omni and Michael Omni 5 questions. That was our interview at the photo shoot. But yet when we go here, there's nothing in here about the 5 questions that you asked us. I want everybody out there to make up their minds with what I just told you. We have been asked 5 questions for this interview. And none of the questions are in here answered. Between 5 for Brian, 5 for Michael, 5 for me, and that's 15 questions, and we got 2 sentences. House of Omni started in 1979. Oh, got it. All right. Then you have, hold on, I got a good one for y'all. Pay attention, write this down. This is a real good one. So, Brenda Holder, who is a friend of mine, and shout out to Brenda, is listed in here in the article, in this story, as the mother of the House of Soldier. Let me do it slow because I don't want it to go past some of you. She's listed as the mother of the House of Soldier. And it states in the article that Brenda came out in 1981. I know that because I'm always telling everybody Brenda came out in 1981. I know Brenda. Brenda started in East New York in a house called the House of Essence. That house never made it to the ballrooms. The mother was Barbara Essence, who wanted to start a house but didn't. Brenda left after that and went to the service and served our country. Love you, Brenda. And came back and was Brenda Princess. Then she was Brenda Continental. And then she was Brenda Milan. And now she's Mother Soldier. Okay, stay with me, everybody. Stay with me. So it says in the article, Mother Brenda Soldier. It doesn't tell none of her history. Came out in 1981. Shocking. So does that mean that you want people to think that the House of Soldier was in 1981, Lee? Because I don't know where your reading score is, but I know where mine is.
I'm dead.
And I'm just tired of having to point things out. You put Mother Soldier, it still should have had Brenda's history. It should have said Brenda, Essence, Princess, Continental, Milan, because there was no soldier in 1981. Now, if I was dead and gone, you would have everybody to believe that Soldier was out in 1981, according to your article. Okay. 15 questions, and you didn't put any of our answers to the story. Now, one thing that I learned by being in honors English, and I went to school 35 years later. After leaving college in 1978, I went back to school at the age of 52 in 2011. And one thing you must do when you write an English report is give references. You have to give a bibliography at the bottom of the page. Somebody just sent me a word and said hoax. Okay. Lee, I'm trying to present this right, but it bothered me. Now, you claim you were there in 1986. So everything that you're talking about is stories that you heard. Are you to say I'm to believe that when you got stories from Duchess, who, by the way, was my in-law, her lover and my lover were brothers. Did you know that? Did you know that, Lee? So, you mean to tell me that you sat down, oh, I tore a page, made me nervous. You sat down with Paris Dupree, and you sat down with Miss Dorian, who, by the way, Miss Dorian and I were very close. She sat at the Omni's table at every ball and didn't give me a dime on my table, but that's neither here nor there. You sat down with all these people? Because that's what the article says. You got quotes from this one and that one. But you came out in 1986, so you waited to 2021. Follow me, everybody. You waited to 2021 to talk about how Miss Paris shared some information with you and Miss Duchess shared some information with you. You waited to 2021 when you were at the balls in 1986, which I don't remember you. I told you way back when you must have been in a dark corner where the light bulb was missing. The light bulb had to be out because I don't remember seeing you. Now you turn around and you put this article together. But wait a minute. You don't put the pioneers, who the pioneers are. People have to guess. But then we get to go to your story. Now, I'll tell you when I remember you, Lee, and I look at this. You said, I'm still the same shy boy that I was before, but ballroom and the club scene made me feel appreciated. I remember when I first saw you at the club, you know, as I am an icon promoter of New York City club life, as well as the balls. Charles Jackson, Mike Stone, let's go back to Ed Smith, 1984. I was there. Where were you at, Lee? I do remember you at the Brooklyn, I think we call it the Brooklyn Warehouse or the Brooklyn Morgan, when I first really recognized you in the corner wearing a laundry basket around your head. And I kind of looked at you like, okay, but that was your thing. That's what got you attention. You said in the article that nobody told you you were good looking and until you started dressing up. And, you know, like, I was trying to figure out whether it was court jester outfits or whether it was whatever this is. Okay. So they didn't tell you you was good looking, but you started getting pictures taken. And there's nothing wrong with social climbing. It really is nothing wrong with it. But when you try to turn history by doing things like you had talks with Paris, you had this one and that one. So what I'm trying to figure out is why you waited so long. Because most of the stories that I read in this article, Marcel Christian wrote. Or when Terence Louverture did his research, and Terence did a lot of research, Terence wrote a lot of this stuff. So when I hear the word plagiarism, I'm not going to say that that's you, Lee. I just want to know why you omitted the 15 answers that I put in. 5 of them, and then 5 from Michael and Omni, and 5 from Brian, the pioneers, because other pioneers didn't want to even come to the photo shoot. As you said, they gave you a difficult time. I wonder why. Now I'm going to share something with everybody, and then you guys be the judge of this. The first ballroom film ever, documentary, was TV Transvestite. It was Dorian Corey and Pepper LeBege's Harlem Fantasy, 1982, at the Crystal Ballroom on 125th Street. I was there. Butch Queen first time in drag. Okay? I was there. I can name people and everything that's on the video. Out of about 300 people, there's only maybe 10 of us left. All right? That night, 30 years later, from 1982, the director wanted to screen the film. So he did in 2012. And he put me as the host. At the end of the night, he gave me a check, which also went through Arts from the Heart and How Do I Look, which started the Kevin Omni Burrus Funeral Burial Fund for the ballroom community. So, you got a hold of the film, and I asked you, I said, Lee, please don't screen this film, and if you do, screen it with me so we can raise more funds for the burial fund, more money. He said, okay. Are you listening? 2 weeks later, he screened it anyway. Because it's a part of social climate. Let me attach myself to this film, the first ballroom film, that you didn't even know anybody. Oh, you saw pictures of Portia. You saw pictures of Tracy Africa. You probably didn't even know it was me. At the end of the film, it says Butch, Queen, and Drag, Kevin from Brooklyn. Because they didn't put my name, Queen Asia, up on the edit. But it says Kevin from Brooklyn. That's me. So, why would you go and screen a film after telling me you wouldn't do it that could have helped me raise money for the Kevin Omni Burrus Funeral Fund? You decided to screen it because you're social climbing. And you asked me, why do I hate you so much? Okay, let's get past that. So everybody, you hear it? All right. Let me just say this, and please, I'm tired of saying it. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of talking about it. Paris is burning. Paris Dupree went to court and lost against Jenny Livingston. David Ultima Extravaganza went to court and lost over Jenny Livingston. Why would the community keep promoting this film when Jenny Livingston made $3.5 million and gave nothing back to the community? Madonna made over $200 million from Vogue and gave nothing back to the community. But, oh, that's right. I got the answer. Wow, I've been lost all these years. Because you got people like Lee Soldier screening Paris is Burning for gay pride. You got people, and I'm wondering, are you getting any kickbacks from that? Is there any financial reward for you for that? And then you got Michael Robeson, who single-handedly shut down an agency in New York City and Black Pride 2008. Why? Because it was people of color in crisis, POCC. Here's where I said, why do the ballroom keep making the same mistakes? Why do you let these people come back in the community? I'm not saying hate them forever, but why not acknowledge what they've done wrong? Okay, Michael Robeson, to my understanding, they said that he paid the debts. All the money he used for POCC, the agency, he reneged on Terrence Louverture's ball that year, August 2008. He was supposed to sponsor this category, that category. The board members started leaving POCC, so it had to be shut down, and everything dealing with Black Pride, New York City, a complete embarrassment. And let's not talk about the fact that the money was, you know how they say misappropriation of funds, but some of the money was spent on credit cards that for POCC, the agency, the AIDS organization, that was used on boys to be bailed out of jail. Are y'all feeling me? Jay Green, you out there? You feel me? Okay, so they want us to forget this. Then you got, like I said, I'm going to get into How Do I Look, and I'm going to explain to y'all why How Do I Look had such animosity that Miss Lee wouldn't support, and Michael Robeson wouldn't support. They supported Jenny Livingston, the same person that made all this money and gave everybody their behinds to kiss. Now, I don't know why, if they got kickbacks from Jenny or from something with Paris is Burning, but that's what they kept promoting. And let's not forget, remember, Miss Lee screened a film that I asked her to help me with to raise money for the burial fund, because I got tired of doing fundraisers at clubs for people that died. So I figure a burial fund would help the community. But this is the type of stuff I got to fight against. I got to fight against these people, and people walk around going, oh. And like when Kelly Gorgeous Gucci, was talking about the last Heritage Ball, she wanted to know where the $6,000 went. Did it go back into the fund? Did it go in your pocket? Where did it go? And the year before that, I believe it was like $2,000 or $3,000 you didn't give out. I don't know. And you want to know something? I don't care. I don't care about your social climbing. I don't care how you step on the community, because everybody does it. I see mini ball flyers across the United States where people put up Paris is Burning, HBO Legendary, Pose. Really? Why is it okay for everybody to step on and listen? And the kids in Europe, they're making coins down, teaching Vogue classes. How much money you making? Because they getting euros out the yin-yang. But then we get to look at magazines that fool us and tell stories. Like I said, I wrote many ballroom stories. Not only did I write many ballroom stories, I was there. Lee Soldier wasn't there. I don't even remember him in 86. I'm not being shady or nasty. That's just me. Believe me or not, I don't care. Then you have Derek Ebony Prado, who I've made peace with. But Derek Ebony Prado, he wasn't there either. He said he started coming to balls in 86, so let's go with that. He's been going to balls in 1986. Don't get me wrong, I think Derek is pretty cool. But you're telling stories that you heard. How do you tell stories that you heard to people that was there? I'm looking at you like, and you're not even telling the story right. You're getting it second and third hand. We got people out there like, shout out to Ephraim Dupree, who was there. Ephraim was walking balls in 1984. He was at my ball in 84. You got a lot of people out there. Terrence, I give credit to Terrence Louverture because Terrence's family were going to balls. His flesh and blood family. And he was around Marcel. And he was around me. And he did his research. And he interviewed Miss Erskine. He did all of us when we were in our prime. But all of a sudden, you've been going to balls since 1986, Miss Lee. And in 2021, you're writing articles and you putting up pictures like this. And you're saying people didn't like you until you started putting up pictures like this. And you erase who's really a pioneer. You don't even tell the story right. I love Devonna. I don't have a problem with her. But the pioneers is me and John. It's me and John. So why do you have pioneers here so that people can be misled and think everybody's a pioneer? This is a problem in ballroom. You got people like social climbers. You got commentators that don't know their history. And all I'm asking is for people to stop being naive. Stop calling out people that are pioneers and they're not. You already messed up Icon. You already did that. Continue to live in that fantasy. All I want to know is that what I did, I made every major newspaper in New York City, the New York Times 3 times. Mind you, I'm doing an article for the New York Times for January 2022. And I want to say happy anniversary to my house of Ultra Omni. 43 years. Okay? And I want to say Thank you to all of you guys out there that are doing things. Now, let me talk about how do I look. Oh, and in 2020, we did 7 online Omni balls. And How Do I Look, the documentary, sponsored it. And we're starting again next month. The category is, starting January 1st, you'll be able to go on my page. And the category is called Reading. It's $200 to the person that gets the most likes. You have to put up a 1-minute video. And this is the first month. It's called Reading. And this is what the theme is. Read the judges. And to the judges, read the contestants. Whoever gets the most likes win. And that's just the first reading category. Because through this, we're hoping that people will learn something. So here I go again. And thank you, Wolfgang Omni Bush, for coming up with this idea. I want you guys to go to, I'm looking at my precious baby coming online in front of me. Soda Basquet. You have no idea how I admire you. You really don't. You are very uplifting, and besides handsome and realness and all that, I just love you. I just want you to know that. Okay, so now the category is called Reading, but I want you to go to the How Do I Look NYC.org. Again, How Do I Look NYC.org. I want you to go to the About and click on Thesis and Lectures. Again, How Do I Look NYC.org. Click on About and then click on Thesis and Lectures. You'll see that How Do I Look. Firstly, let me explain the difference between How Do I Look and Paris is Burning. First of all, How Do I Look asked the community what they wanted to see in the film. We had meetings at the Gay Center in New York City asking what they wanted to see in the film. Jenny Livingston just took pictures and portrayed us as drug addicts, prostitutes, and thieves. If you don't believe me, just click on YouTube, which there's one called Paris is Burning the Dark Side. Paris is Burning the Dark Side. You will see and hear Octavia Reed, the grandfather of the Ballroom House, Marcel Christian, reading. Everybody's against this film, but we got people like Lee Soldier and Mike Robeson that promoted it and keep promoting it. My friends are all dead, died penniless. They got $1,200. Well, Jenny Livingston made $3.5 million. And then I heard after she found out that Miramax Film made over $250 million, she's mad because she wants some of that money too. The nerve. My word is the nervage. Nervage. And then you got people like Lee Soldier. They're going to film Paris is Burning for Black Heritage. And then when you had Michael Robeson, because you know what? How Do I Look didn't include them. They manipulated the community by shoving that film down our throats. Some people said, well, it brought the ball world into the mainstream. At what expense? My friends died at their expense? The embarrassment that they felt like ballroom children are nothing but bums, drug addicts, and thieves? I have 2 years of college plus 3 more. That's 5 years of college, 20 years of Wall Street, 5 years of Covenant House, working with the Runaways. I put in my time, and I worked in the clubs, and I handed out condoms, and I'm an activist. I got to fight. I'm in listen, I got magazines up the yin yang, just like you saw all these trophies in the woods. And my trophies ain't even here. Okay? They're dust collectors. It's up here and what's in here that counts. And I just want y'all to know that I'm giving it to you raw because I'm tired. I can't keep doing the same thing with the ballroom children. Let it go over their heads. If you're not a pioneer, sit down. Let's do this thing with the next status being a tight end. Let's do it every 7 years. Let's do it at a major ball. Hell, I may not be here. But that's an idea. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my son, Victor Omni. I'm sorry, Father Raikou. You know, I'm sorry, guys. Terrence, you need a copy of the magazine? Well, I'm sure Miss Lee will send you one. She couldn't wait to send the magazine all over because when you get the magazine, the first thing you'll see is this. Can you see that, Terrence Louverture? So you got to do is contact him. And I'm sorry, I appreciate it. But when I think about Jamil being the editor of Swerve Magazine, I just want to say it's not Jamil's fault. But we need to know who we're allowing to stand up. Michael Robeson wasn't there in the beginning. He didn't come into the balls until the 90s. And then when he came in and he went to POCC and became the executive director of the AIDS organization that he single-handedly shut down, didn't even apologize to the community. And we're not talking about him being executive director of POCC, but yet going to sex parties in Atlanta. We're not talking about that. He wore his shades to cover his eyes. I wonder why. But you got a certain group. You got Miss Lee, you got Michael Robeson. But you know what? Kevin Omni, I come from a grandmother who lived to be 98 with 8 kids that all made it to their 90s, except Aunt Mary made it to 100. I have the mentors of life that came to my balls. When I came to the ball, I was able to formulate a sentence. I was able to read and understand a sentence. I didn't have to steal because my credit cards were mine. Okay? When I walked High Fashion Executive, which me and William Dupree basically started that category, I pulled out my telephone book from my brokerage securities firm, which was highlighted. Okay? My credit cards, my ID. And I even pulled out at one ball my credit report to show them how much money I could spend on one card. As there's one thing that said that Brian Omni was kikiing in the magazine. He said, Kevin Omni actually, I remember at the ball where he pulled out a credit card for shopping down Fifth Avenue Realness and told the child that he would buy that fur coat if it belonged to him. And the child did not sell the coat to me. And guess what? Grand prize shopping down Fifth Avenue, Kevin Omni. Okay? Now, let me get back to How Do I Look? How Do I Look has done a lot. It's sponsored our categories. It has been on, we have done screenings and lectures at Yale, Harvard, Penn State University, agencies across the United States. In the meantime, in California, D-Up Prevention, which I don't think they really exist anymore in North Carolina. I have been around. Pratt University. We have did screenings and lectures. We gave back to the community that way. Because when Wolfgang and I, we're members, me and Wolfgang, of the Harlem Arts Council. We're also members of the International Agency for Minority Artists Affairs. When we went to the meetings to get money for the film How Do I Look, they told us no because we already saw Paris is Burning. So Wolfgang had to raise most of the funds. We had to raise most of the funds to get the film out. Wolfgang had to pay $10,000 3 times just to translate the film in different languages. We have done the best we could, but we had people within our community that sold us out, i.e. Lee Soldier and Miss Michael Robeson. Now, getting back to Derek Ebony Prada, I thank him for the color system, but all the stories he's telling is after the fact. We lived it. When I say we lived it, I'm talking about Erskine. I'm talking about David Ultima. I'm even talking about RR. And I'm not throwing shade at RR. See, you know, a lot of people don't think you see stuff. They think it goes right over your head. I just want to address RR in case RR is on here. I remember we was in Virginia. We had a beautiful time. There's been many a times that me and RR have had some really nice times. But, you know, RR, I remember back in I don't remember what year exactly, but it was close to 93 or 92. You wanted me to write a story for your ball. Remember I said earlier, I was very grateful that Dre Ebony came to me for the House of Ebony's 25th anniversary to write the story because I was able to tell it. Okay? And RR asked me to write some stories too. But now when we came to the ball in Virginia, which again, I'm going to say y'all missed a good ball. That CD70s ball was everything. So don't miss May 7th, 2022 in Richmond. Because I definitely will be there and I will definitely be at Andre Mizrahi's July 30th in New York. RR said, you know, we promoted the balls. I even promoted it on live and everything. I said, and RR and the Icon Ball is going to be the week after the ball that I was presenting through this agency. The agency received the money. We had $10,000 in investments to give out. But because of the Delta, it was mandated that there was a question that they would probably didn't know whether they were going to cancel the ball, and the ball could have got canceled a week before. So we just postponed it. But Miss RR said, after me promoting her ball, she said there's going to be a lot of balls. She said there's going to be a lot of balls in New York City after the main ball. But the one to go to is the Icon Ball. And you know what? I saw it. And I could have responded, and I could have said, it's saying rotate my device. Why are you bothering me? If I'm doing good, right? What, am I upside down over there or something?
No, it's better if you do it this way.
Well, you know what?
No, this will be like.
Okay, Emperor, leave me alone.
Okay, I'm just trying to help you out.
I understand that. Now, you got me in the middle of, you heard me telling a story, and you're going to stop me?
You got to charge your phone.
My phone is charging now.
Okay, you got it. Good.
Why is you?
Finish. I apologize. Finish.
Let me tell you something. When I get off this phone, y'all know Sean? You ain't gonna know. Y'all ain't gonna know him no more. He's like, he breaking out. He ain't breaking nowhere. I'm gonna hook that. Okay, so let me get back to it. So my point was, RR said there'll be a lot of balls in New York after the main ball. But the Icon Ball is the ball to go to. Why would you say something like that? You know what I'm saying? Especially after I've already promoted your ball from May when I did the interview with Jake Arthur. See, little things like that just remind me, like I didn't say anything because you know something? I said karma is something else. And it'll get back to you and it'll come back to you. And I've never been a phony, and I could go toe to toe and go backwards and forwards and read, and you know I can read. But you know what? We're too old for that. I felt that was so unnecessary, especially after I promoted your ball, that you would be so cynical. And you know something? Without Fred, anyway, see, I could go on, but I'm not going on. Because all you kids out there that think you're getting away with stuff, tonight I lit your behinds up. Lee Soldier, I don't know why you do the things you do, but it hurt me. It's not about me reading you. It hurt me that when I asked you to help me raise money for the burial fund, you didn't do it. You act like you wanted to, and then you didn't do it. Then you sit up here in this article talking about people never told you you look good. Well, you have to be good from the inside in order for it to show on the outside. And then you turn around and you put your pictures in here and your story up in here like as though you're attaching yourself to the pioneering era, which i.e. you tried to do by saying the mother of your house started in 1981 when Brenda, again, was an Essence, a Princess, a Continental, and a Milan. And I don't know why Lady Jasmine is no longer the mother. You deal with those issues on your own. But when I tell you phony and Miss RR, I will always say hi and goodbye, but I would never think of you as anything more than what you are. And I'm not going to go back and forth with you because you know something? One thing Kevin Omni could say is, I thank Jehovah, I thank Allah, I thank Jesus, I thank Yahweh. I didn't have to spend any time in jail. I'm not a jailbird. I'm educated. I had my little problems with drugs years ago too. But thank our Heavenly Father, He brought me through. I was able to own up to it and own it. And I never had to be worried about child molestation. And I never had to worry about any of those things. Because I'm not that one. But in the future, when it comes to Kevin Omni or anything I do, zip it, lock it, and put it in your pocket. Because when I'm ready to talk about it, I certainly will. And nothing goes over my head. So when you see me at places or balls and you want to smile and pretend to be somebody, remember I know your story. And it's not really a good one. And it's not really a bad one. It's a story that I don't really have to care about. But I'm letting you know that I know. Okay? So getting back to how I look, I just want everybody to understand, hey, Dick Johnson, what's going on? Somebody else I respect. So the basketball, don't start me up. Don't get me started, okay? Because when it comes to these kids, you know, what can I tell you? Oh, did I give a shout out to my house of Margiela? Shout out to the Margiellas, you know. I think somebody said, baby, that mouth. Was that you, Sean? Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's disturbing. Oh, that's all I saw. Somebody said it was disturbing and it went up, so I didn't see. Yeah, nervage. And again, I love all of y'all. I've been fighting for the ballroom community since day one. I've been on the battlefield. I've been on the battlefront. And you know what? I can turn around and say, you know, the House of Omni, they've been there for me. They've been there for me. And you know what? It's like, I'm thankful and grateful for my Omnis because without them, I would have stopped a long time ago. But when I got people in my life, you know what I'm saying, that love me, then it's all about them. And I want to say congratulations to our new Ultra Omni Incorporation, LLC. Yes, we are incorporated and we are LLC. And it's like I don't have time anymore to play these games, you know. And a lot of what I'm saying on this live, I'll be saying in my interview for the New York Times, as I've been in every major newspaper again. But I was in every major newspaper for AIDS fundraising, cancer, breast cancer, and stuff like that. And how do I look? And again, how do I look has given back. And remember, January 1st, the category, the Omni Online category, by How Do I Look, is reading. We want a 1-minute video. You're going to do it on my page. We want the judges to read the contestants. And we want the contestants to read the judges. That's January. And February is going to be fierce too. It's $200 to the person that gets the most likes. I'm trying to think if there's anything. Okay, again, I want you to go to How Do I Look and know that that came from within the community. And we had some people that was not happy with How Do I Look because they thought me and Wolfgang made all this money and we were living on the Riviera. Really? All we ever did was lectures and screenings, and we'll still do that. And maybe one day, who knows? Madonna might say, okay, I made $350 million off of this community. Here's $25 million for your burial fund. Maybe Jenny Livingston will say, I'm tired of Kevin Omni talking about me. Here's $25 million for the ballroom community. Who knows? The producers of Pose or HBO Legendary might say, let's give this community something back. We're not talking about because one house won $100,000. We're talking about the community outside of that. We have needs. And you know what? I can't go on I'm 63. My next birthday, I'll be 64. And I'm single because I can't put up with nonsense. So any of you cute guys out there, I've never dated anybody in the ballroom. But I'm just letting you know that I'm single. And I'm okay. You know what I'm saying? I love everybody. I don't have no problems, telling it like it is. I'm not trying to read anybody. But, people need to speak up. Stop letting people get away with XYZ. It's getting tiring that every time I turn around, I got to be the bad guy. I got to be the one, Kevin Omni said this, Kevin Omni said that. Why it got to be me? And then Sean has been making all these memes of me, but it's done out of love. And I'm very grateful for them. I laugh at them. I kiki. Like I said, I'm just hoping that I don't see one with me. Oh, man. This thing is like, really? I'm sorry. This phone keep falling and stuff. I'm just hoping that I don't see one of me naked. But if I'm naked and you're interested, I better not sleep too tight because then the next thing you know, he'll be up in here, taking pictures of me and all type of nonsense. But anyway, is there anything that anybody want me to talk about?
They should not be in my inbox saying that you're going to beat me up.
Oh, and Sean said y'all stop coming in his inbox telling him that I'm going to beat him up. I ain't going to beat him up. So, is there anything that anybody would like me? Soda, you said, phew. Yeah, see what? And listen, I've been going through this for years. And I'm really, listen, Soda, you can really, really write this down. I've been going through this for years, and I've gotten so much better. I have gotten really better with the way I present myself. I'm not hating anybody. I'm not trying to argue with people because I could turn my back and do what I do, which is take care of myself and be concerned about my health. All I have always been is an activist, an educator, and a teacher. I've been a teacher. I still love the balls. I love the creativity. I love the new houses. I like the way they do things. But again, the commentators need to learn history. I'm not saying don't do your thing, don't do your chants, but at least know where you're coming from. Know that that person is not a pioneer. Know that that person is just an icon or not an icon. Know that, okay, we love Miss Avis. These are people's houses that I've been to, ate at, okay? Went to the hospital with Miss Pepper. All of that. I've done all those things. And then you got people that come up and want to do stories years later that I've already read from when Marcel, the grandfather, wrote them. And I've already wrote them myself. I got so many magazines I could show you guys.
Read. Somebody said, how do you feel about Pose?
How do I feel about Pose?
Somebody asked you that.
Somebody asked, Sean said, somebody asked me, I don't have nothing against it. I'm just saying, don't forget where you come from. And if you're a producer of these shows, why not come back and give some money to the community? It's just that ABC. It's just that simple. What's wrong with helping out the community? This community is in need, and it can't be that you got all these people in Europe going around teaching Vogue and making money, and you got everybody here ain't got anything. Hold on.
Your son Kai.
What did Kai say? Ask Dad to talk about all those new house hopping or new houses popping up faster than, what's that last thing?
The OnlyFans Club.
The OnlyFans pages. Oh, they're on OnlyFans pages?
Yeah, but they popping up like that. That's what you said.
Oh, okay.
Talk about how fast they popping up.
Well, there's a lot of people popping up with new houses, I guess, because you know something, Kai, and you know, Kai, I love you. But my thing is, I always thought that, like, I've been Kevin Omni for 43 years. I got Omnis for 40 years. I got Omni members 35 plus years. Okay, 30 years. I understand, like, my family, like I said, I come from 8 people that made it to their 90s, my mentors, my aunts, my uncles, my mother. And I'm just glad that I had that. So I understand what family means. I understand what loyalty means. I also know that when things get rough, you just don't run out and run away. But if you're in a situation where you just can't stand it anymore and you're just not happy, you move out. You move out. And a lot of people are going to have to know that, like I said, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. So, for instance, if in fact you have a house or a person in the house that's in charge that's just not showing you that warmth, that love that you need, then you got to find your way. You got to find your way. You got to move, or whatever. And just be proud, you know what I'm saying, of who you are. I personally have staying power. Hold on, let me get my glasses because my son, I don't know where my glasses are.
Right next to you.
Where?
On the other side.
I don't see them. Where they at? They disappeared.
Right there, you sit
Oh.
on them. That's okay.
I got all these cheerleaders in here. I'm trying to see what their categories were themes. Well, the grand prize categories back then, they had regular categories and only one grand prize. They were usually themes like town and country and realness. Yes, you're right. My son knows because I talk to him all the time. You know what I'm saying? And he reminds me of some things because time has gone by and through the years, things have changed, And I remember when we first started going to balls, it was only like 7 or 8 balls a year. And you only had a grand prize category. We didn't have no cash at the beginning. We had cash for grand prize, but that was it. No other category was cash. Then little by little, you started getting these $50 categories and stuff like that. I don't know what to say. I just want to tell everybody in the ballroom, please stay awoke. And like I said, if you got ADD, it's okay to go get some help. It really is. And, Lee Soldier, even though I said what I said about you, I still love you as a human being. Okay? But just remember, when you do whatever you do in the dark, comes into the light. And don't think for a minute that I'm happy with the way you wrote this story for Swerve Magazine. I'm not. As a pioneer, as a true, later for, take away the pioneer. As a lifetime achiever, okay? As a diamond icon, as just Kevin Omni Burrus, a graduate, okay? 2 times over. I don't appreciate you can't even pull the wool over somebody. See, if you're going to be good, maybe use one of those costumes to pull the wool over so I don't have to see it. Because I'm looking at the costume, I can't see anything else. You're saying that people didn't care about seeing your beauty inside because maybe you're not displaying the beauty because you're hiding behind the outfit. And that's not a good thing. And then you expect someone like me. I'm a Libra. I'm the scales. Let me tell you something else about me so you'll know to stop messing around. I'm a 1958 baby. All the superstars were born. Michael Jackson, Madonna, Prince, Angela Bassett, Alex Baldwin, Ellen DeGeneres, Motown started, and Sputnik went to the moon. Okay? And Kevin Omni was born 1958. So you don't want to mess with the cosmos. Okay? And again, I said it once, I said it twice. Special progress, intellectually gifted children classes, and honors classes. And after going back to school in 35 years, at the age of 52, I made the honors program the first 6 months. Okay? And now at 63, I'm okay with who I am. You know, I'll still walk a ball. Let them put up a category for pioneer phase. Okay, that would be too easy for me to win. Put one up for icon face over 60. That might be too easy for me to win. Why not put a category up for icon face over 50 or 55? I mean, I walked against the best of them. You know what I'm saying? And I just want y'all to know that and you know what? Everybody knows about me with Pioneer Face, this, that, and other. But I just told you a little about myself. Shopping down Fifth Avenue Realness. Leather versus suede. Best dressed man. High fashion evening wear. High fashion executive. Legendary exec. Again, for all you people out there that walks executive and this, that, and the other, me and William Dupree started that category. High fashion executive. And we started legendary exec. So you're looking at the progenitor of those categories. Okay? And I love it. And again, shout out to Larry Ebony. I want everybody to keep in prayer because what's going on now with this, we're not post-pandemic anymore. We're back in pandemic. And people are dying left and right. So all the foolishness that people do, like, get on your knees and pray. Because that's what you need to do. You need to bless your brother. You need to help your brother. You need to do something uplifting. Because all of this, like, phoniness and smiling and this, that, and the other and what have you, you know, it's not necessary. It's past due. Like I said, I lived through the AIDS epidemic, losing over 600 people, and now I'm in this COVID pandemic and losing people, including my mother. So I don't really have time to be nasty and hateful. So I'm going to give a shout out, Deron Parker. I extended the invitation for you to come to the House of Ultra Omni. Soda, I love you. Big Meech, everybody. Michael, happy birthday again. My cousin Michael Haynes. And everybody out there. Let me see. I didn't give certain shout outs. My girlfriend Jackie D. I remember I didn't say your name, but happy, you know, my phone has really been carrying on. Jackie D. Johnson, yeah, I want you to know I love you. Again, Tyleek, I love you. Sin Lambin. I want all you people to know that you're a part of my life. And I wrote everything down here to make sure I don't forget. And Fred, I wish you, Fred X Chanel, Delcourt, I wish you a lot of luck. Jay Green, I appreciate you. Shemaine, again, if you don't call me, I'm gonna have some choice words about you. But anyway, that's about it. Harold, Aga, you know I love you. And Kai, definitely my son. I love you. And my new grandson, Rohan. Yeah, that's right. And I just want to say to everybody, let's pray. Please pray for everybody. Please do whatever you can to keep yourself safe. And I hope that, oh, and somebody asked me who is Sil Pendarvis. I don't know who that is. There's a child that was going around on Facebook that was saying things like, James, the name was, what do you call it? Their names were, James Richardson or something. And I'm thinking it's, what's that child's name that everybody blocked? Wendell LaBelle. She came out and her house lasted 4 months, and now she's bitter, and she's like, like getting on everybody's case and coming on there and debate and talking about she's legendary and more iconic. I'm telling you, stuff go right over your head. Ask questions. But you ask whoever Sil Pendarvis is, maybe she forgot to say silicone. She's a Pendarvis, but she got some silicone. Because whoever she is, don't nobody know. Okay? Don't nobody know who James Richardson is. Nobody knows. These people come out of nowhere. There is a lot of sick people out there. You got a lot of people that, if they're not doing crystal meth, they're doing heroin, or they're doing whatever. But when I tell you that they are sick mentally, baby, hold on to your seats, because that's what's going on. The children, listen, my segment on the radio show used to be called The Children Are Talking. But when I tell you the children are talking, they are talking. I just feel like, oh, I want to give a shout out to my Ultra Omnis. And I want to say thank you to Derek Omni for all that you have done. And Shine, always, Shine's been there for me, and I, listen, I didn't even talk about this. I love to have people like Shine in my life, Brian Omni, and cover to cover, there's no other. And, there's so many members of the House of Omni that I have to give credit to. I love some, I just want you to know this has been a trying year for me. I had my second heart surgery in September. And, I'm still here. So I know what to be thankful for, grateful, thankful. And I want everybody to feel that same way. Terrence, I want to tell you I love you, Terrence Louverture. Father Reichel, thank you. Let me read some of these messages. Okay, well, that's... You ain't right. You're right, Craig Thomas. If they show you who they are, believe them. I just want everybody to know that I'm at the point where I've done everything I could do. Was that song Stand? It was Stand. After you've done all you can, you just stand. Because that's all I've been doing. I've been trying to help this boardroom community. I've been trying to give ideas. Don't forget the idea about the new status, Titan. And remember, every 7 years should be one ball where people get deemed a Titan. And they should at least have done something for the community and won a certain amount of trophies, because that's just the way, you gotta give the kids something. And remember, the commentators, we really need to have them learn their history. And like I said, I'm not trying to take away anything from like Derek Ebony Prada. Keep on writing, keep on telling the story. But also remember to always repeat where you started and then where you're getting your information from, those references. And the same thing with you, Lee. If you want to write a story, why don't you be forthright? Let it be, the bibliography should be where you got your references from or where you're telling that story from. And also remember, don't try to do things like switch a person, who is there was no soldier in 1981. Okay? We don't even remember you from 86, but I'm trying to tell you, keep it real, because it all will come back in your face. And I'm saying it now, just in case, knock on wood, heaven forbid, I'm no longer here. So I say it now while I can. And I'd like to give a shout out to my son, Mark, Ultra Omni, out there in Chicago and Landon, Ultra Omni, and who else I got? Trevor from Canada, Ultra Omni. And Duran, I guess you'll be calling me soon, Mr. Parker. And I'll hear from you. I'll hear from Monet. I'm waiting for you to contact me and let me know if there's any more information. Again, shout out to Victor and Graciela down there in Georgia. And shout out to Stuart again. And all of you wonderful people. Now I'm looking on my sheet to see if there's anything I forgot, because I don't want to hang up and then say, boy, I forgot to talk about that. So I'm looking. I shouted out the birthdays. I shouted out everybody here on this page. And again, Tigger, I want you to make sure that you know that I appreciate you. And shout out to Lego. I forgot to say Lego's name. Lego got it going on, y'all, and it's open to all. I'm so proud that he's doing things, and he didn't let anything stop him. Again, another shout out to Black Lanvin. I love watching you, and I'm going to tell you, Raymond, I love you, and Dick Johnson, thank you, and Soda Basket, period. I can't get enough of you. I just can't. And I see, Terrence Martin from Florida. I see a little picture up there. Shout out. And Brandon Milan, you know I love you. I love you. And I enjoyed our conversation. And we have to talk soon. And maybe one day, Soda, you'll give me a call. Okay? And we could talk. Because I'm sure you'll have me kikiing. Oh, I forgot to shout out to Malik Ballman. Malik. I find Malik not just to be a face child. I find him to be so conservative and so... What did you say?
Gunna.
I did shout out to Gunna. Shine is telling me to shout out you again, Gunna, but shout out to Gunna. Hey, Tasha, what's going on? Yeah, Gunna, I told Gunna, me and him are going to talk in 2022. Gunna, Ultra Omni is now Inc., LLC. We're going to talk. There's some things. Simone Margiela, I love you. Let me see, is there anybody else on this sheet? Because I have to watch, because sometimes I don't see things and I overlook things, and I don't want to do that. Again, shout out to everybody at Fashion Avenue News Magazine with Sophia Davis. And y'all look at Sophia's stuff on Instagram and Facebook. Fashion Avenue News Magazine, Sophia Davis, the House of Couture. Ralph McDaniels, Music Box, Video Music Box, Nas, DJ Red Alert, DJ Cass, all of y'all. I love all of y'all. I'm getting ready to get off because I need to eat. And I'm gagging that I've been on this long, but that's because of technical difficulties and me being late. I love you. God bless all of you. And I'm glad I was able to tell my story too, Brandon, because it's like you get tired of these phony people and you smile and then you be nice to them and then they turn around and screw you right in front of your face like, duh. Again, I'm Kevin Omni with you, and I'm Kevin Omni without you. Love and peace, everybody.